for me. No, it says it's recording. We're recording now. Great.
Okay.
Am I the only one that when you look at Zoom and you're trying to look at it, if you look at yourself, I'm have to force myself to look in the camera and look at you and not at myself, because then I got this whole cross-eyed thing going on.
Yeah, because when you're looking at the camera now, you down at the very bottom, right?
Let me look at the camera. Can you see me? Correct. Okay.
I can see you.
Yeah, when I look at it, I'm over here somewhere, and that's just driving me crazy.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. But we'll just do like a little brief introduction that this is the interview between Khalilah Frazier and LaWanda Tillett.
Yes.
Are conducting the interview for February's Miss InfluencHER, the February issue.
Yeah.
Betterment. I think that's real fancy, so I like that. The love issue. And I'm excited to be able to conduct this interview with you today. How are you, ma'am?
Great. How are you?
Doing good. And for a Monday, I'm just learning to not let the day dictate how I feel. So it's a good it's a good day.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Here on the East Coast, a little rainy, but we'll get past it. So
always, Lord have mercy. Always. I'm from California originally, so.
So this is just something else, something altogether different from what you used to.
Some bipolar. I'm thankful. I ain't trying to cap on the Lord's net thoughts with nature, but it's very bipolar over here. The weather. So
if you you are absolutely funny. You are so entertaining. Like I had a chance to look at some of your posts so I could get to know a bit about you before we came to today. Okay. So and you're like, nah, but we got I see that's your thing. I think your tagline is I. So Khalilah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, tell us about, who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Okay. Well, my name is Khalilah Frazier.
I'm sorry.
I'm 30. Okay. No.
Let it be cake.
Right. I'm 34 years old. Okay. Birthday, actually, I just turned 34. Well, about a couple months ago, November 10th.
Okay, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Did you get cheated for the holiday?
What you mean? You said
how people try to smash up the birthday and Christmas and all those gifts right there together?
You know what? Growing up, my mom never did that. We was blessed on our birthdays and we was blessed on Christmas. Like we never, I honestly don't remember, even though, it was times when we struggled and stuff like that. We always had birthday gifts. Now, hold on now. That was when we was younger. Today now, I like, Mama, it is my birthday, I'm still your child. It's my birthday, And I don't know if anybody else encounters that. But it seems like the older you get, people just text you happy birthday.
Yes, you get a text and a phone call. We just want to take a few moments to call and wish you happy birthday.
There it is. So to answer your question today, yeah, it gets smushed in there. But growing up, it definitely did not. But yeah, today it definitely gets smushed in. But I think that's with a lot of people. I don't think I'm going to get some real good gifts probably till I get married and maybe have some children. You know what I mean? But of course, I have friends. I was
going to say, yeah.
But still, a lot of them don't have no money. So, but no, this one. Woo, but no, seriously though, I do. They some of them really don't have no money. Some,
But what they don't have in finances, they might have in resources, and it's about
absolutely
when if we don't have where the money resides, where the money resides.
Yeah.
You got to get creative.
Yeah.
Gift giving.
Yeah. So I have. You know what? I take that back. No, I don't take it back. Okay, so here we go. I have friends that have money, and then but I think that's everybody. You where to kind of sort them at. Like, girl, we can't go with her. You know what I mean? To the bar because she only gonna be able to pay for half her drink. You get what I'm saying?
Not half. You didn't even give her. You didn't even give her the whole drink. You just said half.
No, because the drink may be $12, so she got $6. That's what I mean by half. And that's okay because I'm very generous. But this past birthday, I did get some gifts. I did get some gifts, and that was breathtaking. You know what I mean? I got some Bath and Body Works. I'm a candle lover. I love candles. When I tell you, I will spend easily $50 to $60 a month on candles.
You can do that. Go to Bath and Body Works and get one and be done. And just so you
with the 50 and 60, right?
Yes,
they are expensive. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so you're that person that what day was it? Right before the holidays, that was up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to be online or at the store to get the candle sale. Was that
to get the candles? Now, here's the thing. I used to be really into Bath and Body Works candles, but you know, and this is not to knock the company because it's a fabulous company, but it just seemed the way I burn, like I'm a real candle burner, meaning I got a candle burning in here and in my bathroom. I burn like 2-3 candles at a time. So I keep them burning. The only time I blow them out is if I leave the house. You get what I'm saying?
You wait, whoa. You go to sleep with the candles on?
I do.
Okay, well I'm not mad at your self-care.
Yeah, I do.
On you, this is the February issue of love, so I guess do it safely.
That's part of the love ambiance. We're gonna get to that.
Just setting the atmosphere. I understand.
Yeah, just setting the atmosphere. But sometimes I'll burn them. I'll blow them out. But I'm gonna be honest, not often. I definitely sleep with candles on. Yeah. You a little nervous about that one?
It could.
But you know what, too? I don't have children yet, so it's funny because I was thinking about that when I was driving yesterday. I was like, how am I gonna be able to burn my candles when I have kids? You know what I mean? The way I like to burn them.
You need to have a serious insurance plan.
Yeah. Well, my babies ain't gonna be worth them candles, so but yeah, but I love candles. But what I was gonna say, the company Bath and Body Works, awesome company, but the candles don't last long as I like them to.
I don't think have you found one that lasts as long? Continuous?
Yankee.
Really?
Yeah, Yankee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yankee candles are phenomenal candles. Like those candles are good they have up to like 150 hours burn time.
Okay.
Yeah, with Bath and Body, you probably can get about 72. You know what I mean? So yeah, Yankee candles.
She said, I burn all of my candle down to the bottom.
I burn them. I love incense, the humidifiers where you put the oils. That's just, I love all of that. We
are kindred spirits because that's kind of what when I came home, my daughter had the incense going. Burn candles. I have, especially Christmas time, they were everywhere. And we had the diffuser with all of that going. So oils, absolutely love it. So yeah, we are kindred spirits in that nature.
I love it. So yeah, I was blessed with candles. I got like some body lotion. I'm real big on like oils and all of that stuff. So I got that, and then I got treated to dinner and some drinks. So well, that'd be good enough.
I'm gonna say dinner and drinks. Yeah. Well, so and I told you that when we had this conversation, that we would have an interview, but it would just really kind of flow one thing into another. I think sometimes when we think about self-care, things we think, the instant thing that we think about for self-care, oh girl, I'm gonna get my hair done, I'm nails done, I'm gonna get my massage done, I'm gonna do da-da-da-da, we're gonna eat, we're gonna do things are nice. Nothing's wrong with that. But I guess when I gave you the topic and I sent you what the focus was gonna be, how did that speak to you? How self-care creates balance and welcome success? Because you're a successful entrepreneur. I saw your company you have, and she has some fabulous hair, which I might have to go to, like get a sew in or something, and we'll get a little more information about that. But when you hear that topic, transitioning from talking about the food and the candles and setting, how does that speak to you?
Self-care, how does it balance
and welcome success?
And welcome success. I actually believe that that's the root of everything. When I think of self-care, I think of self-love. Just to expand it a little bit, meaning that you're positioning yourself to be successful. Because in order to be successful, you have to nurture your mind. You got to nurture your emotions. You got to nurture your spirituality. You got to nurture, especially with women, you got to go back to them emotions. You got to nurture them things, okay? Because they will have you snap, crackling, and popping, okay? Especially when you get in your 30s. Because I'm telling you, you know. But yeah, self-care, just really nurturing yourself as a woman, you know, putting your goals at the forefront of everything. Because in order, at least for me, you get what I'm saying? I had to, and I still am, but I had to get to a place in where I was like, you know what, Khalilah, you're worthy. You are absolutely worthy. You're worthy of success. You're worthy of God using you in the way that He desires to use you, and that's to influence. I don't just make people laugh to make them laugh. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's much deeper. It's a gift. Believe me, it's definitely a gift, because a lot of time I don't even be trying to. But that comes from a place of healing. That comes from, like you said, a place of self-care, where I've taught myself to nurture the gifts that God has placed in me. And when you nurture those gifts, and like I said, the emotions and your physical life, your mindset, you're able to, it's almost like the energies line up. You get what I'm saying? On top of, to me, God's plan, but also the energies line up, and it's almost like they set a platform for you, you know. And it's just like, everyone may not be a believer, but I am. But it's just like the word of God says, right? That your gifts will make room for you.
Oh my, most definitely. They most definitely.
And they make, right, and they only can make room for you if, this is my personal belief, but they only can make room for you if you nurture them, right? And the only way that you can nurture them, you have to be able to identify your self-worth. Because there's a lot of people that have gifts to be successful, but they never reach them, or they never begin to evolve into them, because they don't see their self-worth. You know what I mean? They don't see their self-care. They don't practice self-love. And that's something that I'm definitely practicing continuously, because I didn't always care about Khalilah. You know
And
what I mean?
I was just getting ready to ask you, because again, I had a chance, like I said, you know, I went back, and not just the funny posts, but the posts that were very serious in nature, but very encouraging and very uplifting. At what point, because oftentimes they say, out of our place of hurt, out of our place of healing comes our gifting, you know, what we're
there you go.
to from that part. So not that you have to go like back to the couch and give me when you were 6 years old, like when I was 6, you don't have to do that.
This ain't Ayana to fix my life.
No, girl, this is not, no, that, this, no. But I would just,
like, what on my watch? I love her though. But you know what? I watched the marathon. I would sit there and I would watch a marathon, but I'll be toe up for the whole week. So
I was gonna say,
I had to lay off of it for a minute.
I said, everybody's going to bed, they're like, I'm not, y'all not gonna make me cry. And then it broke down 2 or 3 minutes in. But if you had to really go back and look at, if there was a moment that you were like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do for Khalilah. This is what I'm gonna do for me, about me. And whatever I do, and from this moment on, is going to bless someone else and make a difference in someone else's life, so they don't have to feel what I felt or be in this.
That process began with me. I'm 34 now. That process began with me, I would say, about 31. So not
too long ago.
Not too long ago. And what happened is, like I said, I'm not gonna go way back to the couch. But let's just put it this way. Growing up, I grew up in a loving home, but a home that was imbalanced when it came to communication and affection and things of that nature. And then it evolved to a kind of dark place, and where there was a lot of challenges within the home. So far as like with substance abuse, things of that nature. So with me, being who I was as a child, I put that on my shoulders. You get what I'm saying? I made it my burden. So what happened is I just became this child and this teenager and even to a young woman where I put myself on the back burner. You get what I'm saying? It was all about making sure this person was okay, you know, praying for this person, making sure that they was together. You get what I'm saying? And then also with that, you know, it just came a lot of self-condemnation, a lot of putting myself down, just didn't have no self-esteem. I'm just gonna be honest with you, none. And even growing up like in the church, you know, the different churches that I went to, you know, the mindset of a lot of the churches was a lot of put down, quote unquote, mindset. So I actually was in ministry starting at the age of 19. And I transitioned away from church ministry, quote unquote, at I want to say 30. And it wasn't necessarily on purpose. It came along with me moving, relocating. And it wasn't until I came to the place where I was like, you know what? I don't have to condemn myself. You know what I mean? I am worthy. And I just started working on, at the age of 31, I started working on my self-image and my self-worth. And not, like I said, being in ministry that long and growing up in a home too, not all the time, but in a home and where, you know, how it is in our culture a lot of times, honestly, you know, where it's dot the I, cross the T, you know, and then growing up in a church where it's dot the I and cross the T.
And
so,
you better not drop the cross.
You better not drop it. And so here I am, this 19-year-old, and I'm preaching down the house. You feel what I'm saying? I'm laying hands on folks, people falling out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? All of that.
And
But I didn't know who I was.
I say they're falling out and you falling apart on the inside.
There you go. There you go. Because once again, this is why I went back to that. But once again, I'm the one. I'm the one who's dotting the I's, crossing the T's. You get what I'm saying? And my identity was in that. And once I left, I failed tremendously spiritually to the natural eye. You get what I'm saying? And so it was then where I was like, you know what? It got to be something deeper than this. My faith has stood still, but I'm coming and did come to a place where it's like, you know what? It's time for me to find Khalilah. It's time for me to find Khalilah and to allow God to reveal who I am. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
In his structure, not in what I think I should be, not in what the preacher says I am, not in what anyone else says I am, but in who he is. And this is day by day. This is not something that just you wake up one morning and you know. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes things have to fall apart in order for them to be built back up.
And they say that all the time, you know.
Yeah. And I remember years ago, actually it was before I came to Georgia, I was at church and there was a prophet that had ministered to me. And she kept saying the word revolution. And I was just like, I didn't really know what it meant. So when I got home, I looked it up. And I mean, when I tell you this lady, she said this word over me at least like 30 times. And so when I looked it up, the definition of it was when the foundation of something is broken down to create something new. And the previous foundation that I had, even when I stood behind the pulpit preaching, was condemnation. It was get it right. It was a message, not saying the faith, but a lot of it was a message of self-hatred. It was a message of got to be real careful of the slave mentality, you know. And so
because it's it's not all whips and chains. It's not all,
Mm-hmm.
it's not all the man, so to speak.
It's not all bad.
And a lot of times we enslave ourselves, like you said, to that condemnation, that self-hate
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that we have for ourselves, and that negative talk that we
Mm-hmm.
have for ourselves.
Yeah. 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 And so, because I grew up with that at home, is, the verbal and the dysfunction, the verbal dysfunction and the physical dysfunction started happening at 9 with me. So because of the abuse there and then the abuse at church, here I am, this little girl and this teenager that always feel like she's doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So it took me having to fall from something in order to be built up, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. I appreciate your transparency. I think a lot of times and I say we, all of us believe in God, and we know that the pastor is a shepherd, that shepherd the flock, and he's guiding us. But I think sometimes we forget that person, male or female, is still human and still has a brokenness that they have to see God for themselves.
Their own challenges.
And and I think if we could keep that at the forefront of things, it wouldn't be so bad that we're like, oh, so when someone does have a fall, as you said, or that we don't use that as a means to demonize them and like, oh, well, he don't know what God. But God, it's like we're on the potter's table. We get to go, and he can constantly shape us and make us. Today we're can break us back down, and today
the transformation never stops.
Nope. I don't think
it never stops. I have a ministry called Worthy of Transformation, and it hasn't come into full flourishing yet. I've started it on Facebook. It started as a weight loss health group.
Okay.
But I know that it's gonna flourish into something else, something much bigger.
Well, that just like I said, there's so many different components that you can make us laugh. Us heal from the inside out, as far as being able to take a look at those hard places. And so it's definitely not a coincidence or even a hesitation to know why you are this month's InfluencHER. And so if you really had to make a statement, what is it that you would want our readers to get from our interview today about how you influence and what self-care really looks like? On the good looking, the for lack of a better word, for the cliche ways of self-care, how would you want us to perceive self-care from the fullness of who you are? Ministry with your gift to laugh and beauty. How would you tie that up for your readers to take away?
Absolutely. For the readers, I would say that the biggest thing and the biggest obstacle that I think that all of us are trying to fight our way through and that are overcoming is self-image. And realizing, honestly, like I just said, realizing that worthy, that is the ultimate word that I can leave for the readers, is you are worthy. You're worthy of digging deep. You're worthy of saying, you know what, I just got to sit in my car and scream this out. I got to scream it out of my heart. I got to scream the frustration out. I got to scream out the self-hatred that I didn't even know that was there. This is why I keep doing the things that I'm doing. I have to journal. I got to read. I got to listen to audiobooks. You know what I mean? I have to begin to dig deep and know that you're worthy of healing. One thing that I'm learning and that have learned is that it may have not been your fault. And I'm sure people have heard this before. It wasn't your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it, if you do not care enough about yourself and to know that you are worthy, you get what I'm saying? Not just in the eyesight of God, but you should be in the eyesight of yourself. You will look up and be however old and still living out that trauma. You know what I mean? Still
Absolutely.
not living out your gifts, not living out those things, you know. But that's what I would leave. The biggest thing that I can leave for women, men, whoever is listening, whoever is reading, is that you are worthy. You're worthy of um, of evolving. You're worthy of transforming. You're worthy of getting to know what you like, what you want. You know what I mean? What is it that makes you happy? You know, it's so many times on my lives on Facebook that I speak to. Of course, I make it funny because that's just, you know, my nature.
I mean, but
But
hey,
yeah,
however you deliver it,
yeah,
that's your gift.
yeah. You know, but the women, um, it was probably starting maybe about 6 months ago. I really started coming into a place where I was like, you know what? I'm out here dating, you know, and I
In the
keep
middle of
putting
COVID, you go,
myself,
girl. You go, girl. In COVID.
you know, but I know, right, through COVID. But look, that was internet dating now. Internet, okay. I wasn't at the daiquiri bar in the club and stuff dating. This was internet, you know. But to know you're worthy. I went through a phase, you know, and this is transparency and this is no judgment. And I hope it's okay for me to say this. But I went through a phase in where I literally started I went this is so funny, okay? So I went from, like I said, being in ministry for 11 years, and then I
Mhm.
went to modeling plus size lingerie. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, well,
But
that's a different transition, but you're still beautiful. You're still worthy. You're still worthy.
I'm worthy, but let me tell you, it did not come from a worthy place. It came from a place of I don't know who the hell I am. I don't know who the hell I am, and I want me a man. So because I've been cooped up in this church house, I'm finna get me one, and
By
I'm finna
enemies
wild out.
necessary. No, you didn't pull on Malcolm by enemies necessary.
Mm-hmm. By any means necessary. And what began to happen is because I was so broken and confused. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is the way that I got my attention. This is but even in the midst of that, God was still positioning me to be found by him and for me to be found by myself. You know, so a lot of my content has changed. You know, someone who was being very judgmental, they messaged me, they said, well, when your future husband sees all of these raunchy pictures you're posting on the internet, do you think that he's still gonna love you?
The right one will, and that's all that matters.
And I said, so that goes to show me you don't
Hmm.
even know what the definition of love is.
No, love is unconditional, and that
For
means.
you to even fix your mouth to ask me that.
But but I think it's not even. You said it best when you said judgmental. That person has more they need to deal with than you do. Because
Yeah, absolutely.
if he or she has to ask
Hmm.
question, then that means you
Yeah.
got to be your real self with the person.
Hmm.
None of us are perfect. We may not.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we always try to categorize our level of dysfunction or our level of growing and learning
Hmm.
who we are
Hmm.
and coming into who we have become and yet to become. We always try to categorize
Hmm.
wasn't as bad as that. Well, that's not as bad.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Like you said,
Hmm.
it wasn't the what you were doing, it was the what was happening in here, the place. It was,
The inside, it was the root. It was the
yeah,
root, and God, it was the root of what was happening. It wasn't what was happening. It was why it was happening. It's
absolutely.
always a root. It's always a root to why. When you look at people, I have a big addiction to watching like addiction shows and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the beginning of these shows, it's always a root, not justifying the behavior, but the behavior is a symptom of what the sickness inside
Is that
is just a symptom.
yes, 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 yes.
It's a symptom. When you look at these people have been traumatized. Their youth, you get what I'm saying? These people, with me, when I was growing up, you get what I'm saying? When the dysfunction began to happen in my family, I started putting on weight. You understand what I'm saying? Food became my comfort, all type of things. You get what I'm saying? So I grew up, I'm in church, I ain't got no man. You feel what I'm saying? Here I am, I'm turning my 30s, my hormones is all over the place. I don't know what the hell going on, you know? So I'm trying to find me for real. You know, even I would sit there and I would preach. And when I would preach, I would tell them, I would be very transparent, like, look at here, what's going on? You know, and you don't, people do not talk about real topics. They won't tell you when you turn 30, you gonna want you some, and you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly. They try to make it, I think they try to make it seem so
Demonized, like you said, they make it demonic.
they try to make it demonizing. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It is a great
Listen.
Which, I was married for 17, 18 years. Unfortunately, my ex-husband and I, we divorced.
Okay.
But there was a time, like you said, in the beginning, it's like, it's a good thing. Sex and marriage is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's an even harder page to turn when you're no longer married and you know to have a good thing.
Wow.
So now here you are, and you're like, this ain't looking like how we talked about God, kind of thing. And you like Miss Ceiling, you rocking it.
Right. Yeah.
But I definitely, I'm so proud of you. And again, talking to you like I've known you for forever, and I have not. I literally went on your page and found information about you, but I see just even in conversation, there's so many similarities. And I think as women, if we really took the time to take down our guard and have real conversations with each other, we have more in common than we do that we feel like we need to compete.
Absolutely.
So, and I think you're a beautiful person. I even what you went through, though it may not have been comforting, it may not have been what you wanted. I still think it makes you who you are, and I think that makes you a beautiful, strong person. Personally, can't catch me modeling no lingerie. I mean,
girl, I'm talking about baby.
But but let me ask you this question, and I know I won't talk your head off because we could probably talk, and this probably won't be our last interview together. But I just have a question: when people say, "Oh, well," when you say they had to be low self-esteem or just need to get out the church house, do you know how much confidence you have to lingerie? Whether you plus size or a size 0, I don't know. That's confidence that I wish I would have had. My life, not necessarily model, but just that confidence, be like, you know what, I'm out here. Take me.
There it is, boom. Yeah, it can. You have to have confidence, and that's where a lot of my confidence grew. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes we can mistake confidence for desperation.
Okay.
And not saying that I was desperate, so to speak. But how do they say it?
Any attention is good
attention.
That's true. That's true.
No, that's what it is.
Some attention is better than none attention.
No attention.
That part.
There you go. So it was a mixture of both. It was a mixture of confidence, like, you know what, I'm tired of hiding. Okay, you get what I'm saying? I've been underneath all these Muslim-like clothes. No disrespect to any Muslims that's listening, but my family's Muslim. They know I'm kidding. But y'all wear a lot of clothes. You know what I'm saying? The ones depending on how deep you are in the faith, you wear a lot of clothes. Okay. But yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm a 31-year-old woman. I'm about to do my thing. Okay. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm sexually frustrated. I'm mad. I don't understand what's going on with my life. I done moved to a different state. And I ain't gonna lie, I got on my knees one night and I cried out to God. And I told him, I said, God, I'm tired of being the strong one. I said, I don't want to be strong no more. I said, I don't want to be perfect no more. I don't want to portray to be perfect no more, not even to you. And I asked him, I said, I need for you to cover me in this time because I don't know. I don't even know. And he's done just that. I've survived COVID and pneumonia. I've survived car accidents. I've survived my mama having syphilis with me when she was pregnant and them telling her to abort me. I've survived and am surviving low self-esteem, no self-esteem. And I'm still evolving from that. That's why I say, whoever's listening, whoever's reading, just know that you are important. You are worthy. You're worthy of being treated right. You're worthy of being someone to influence other people, because
I like
everybody got
that.
a story. You're worthy
Yes.
of being an influencer.
I like that. And I like that. I like that. That's where we're going to end that. That's where we're going to end
Yeah,
that. Feel worthy of being an influencer.
yeah, you're worthy of being an influencer, you know? So, yeah, it's you. It's you. It ain't the next person. It ain't the next person. It's you.
Well, I know that this is not, like I said, this will not be the last conversation we have. I'm sure we will talk again, and we
Mm-hmm.
and maybe and take a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to continue on this conversation of influence and how we can continue to change lives just by being transparent. But before
Mm-hmm.
I let you go, definitely let us know how we can continue to keep up with you with all aspects, all things.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. Well, I launched my own hair distribution company back in 2015. I actually had a leg injury and then I got fired from my job. So I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to sell hair. Um, and I started doing my research. You know, I got my suppliers together. I built my own website.
Okay.
Few months after that, I went ahead and I started. God gave me an idea to start building websites for other women to do the same thing. So right now, I do have a hair distribution company. I have a website that is being worked on right now. However, I do have a website that I sent to you guys. I don't know if you want me to tell it verbally on the
You can.
call.
You can tell me because I'm just going to transpose it, or you can send it to me as a message too. Either way.
Okay, well, I sent it to Carmen as well
Okay.
in the
Sounds
email.
good.
But yes, LilahK.BigCartel.com is my previous website, but I'll have my new website up like the end of February.
Okay.
But yes, if there's any women that are interested in selling hair and getting their feet wet into the hair industry, I provide you with your commissions. I provide you with your website as well as drop shipping. Also, I am coming out with the lipstick line that has been delayed. I got COVID back in July, so a lot of things just stopped. You know, a lot of people don't know you have to bounce back from that mentally too. So I had to bounce back from that, but that is in the works. My Instagram is my first name, Khalilah, KHALILAH_Antoinette. And then Facebook is Khalilah Frazier. So that's what I have in the works right now. My hair distribution, my lipstick line. I am getting my feet more wet so far as doing hosting and stand-up comedy. But you guys can catch all my comedy lives and my live
Yes.
talks on
Yes.
Facebook. You know, I go on there and I speak the real. You know, I talk about dating. I talk about dating so much on my lives.
Oh, that was so
Um,
funny. Yes.
yeah, I have a ton. I talk about dating. I talk about the men I meet. I done got catfish. I done got hatfish. I done been set up with men that,
Hackfish.
yes, boy, he took his hat off and girl looked like somebody had put an explosion at the top of his head. You know. Um, I went on a date with a man. We was at the dinner table. He took his teeth out his mouth. I didn't experience all type. I
Now he
said,
took his
you know
teeth
what?
out.
Girl, he clumped them on out and put them in there. I said, now hold on. Now what's going on here? You know.
And just wait a
So
minute. And wait. And in his 30s taking out his teeth?
you said what now?
He's in his 30s taking out his teeth?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of, you know, are you in Georgia?
No, I'm not. I'm in Virginia. But
Oh, I love Virginia. I love
taking your teeth out? You
yes,
mean the
ma'am.
fronts though, right? You talking about fronts, not a whole set of teeth.
The bottoms. The bottoms was gone.
Like fronts, right?
All this down here at the bottom was gone.
All of that, okay.
Yeah.
I was
So,
hoping you meant fronts, like he just took his fronts off.
well, they was the fronts and the sides to me. Anything is gone. That's the point. It's gone. The fronts and the sides is gone. Bottom or top.
Oh my goodness, I'm so weak.
Yeah. So I talk about that. You know, I talk about everything. So I am looking into starting my own podcast or radio show. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm just, yeah.
Big things coming. Big things
Yes,
coming
ma'am.
from you, and I'm excited to see what happens next. You know, a
Mhm.
difference. We've come a long way from July of 2020.
Yes.
People wanted to leave 2020 in the rearview mirror, and I understand. I get it. I'm not insensitive, but
Hmm.
2020 wasn't all bad either.
No, no,
Bad either.
no.
And there's some lessons that we could all take. If you didn't get anything
Hmm.
2020, what was important? Prioritization.
Yeah, and definitely just remaining, if I didn't get nothing else, if I just to stay close to God. And I'm
Oh
not
my
talking
goodness,
about
yes.
so far. When I say I'm talking about prayer, like talking to him. I don't care if you just went out and smoked you a blunt. I don't care if you just went out and did whatever you did. God need to hear from you and you need to hear from God. Flat out. Okay.
Period. Exactly.
That I believe that's definitely some. I know that that's something, and just grateful, a spirit of gratefulness,
Yep.
because it was a lot. It was a lot that went down, and yeah.
Look, when people say it goes down in DM, it was a lot that went down in 2020.
Ooh, starting from the beginning, I think the first thing was Kobe Bryant passing away. That was the first thing
And
that
tomorrow,
to
I
me,
believe is tomorrow.
yeah,
Tomorrow,
it's
yeah, it would be tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
would be the 1 year anniversary.
1 year. Yeah, that was the thing to me that shook. That was the first thing that I think shook the world. I mean, that was everywhere, So yeah.
I think God was like, I done told y'all about we're playing with these rooms. And so when stuff, remember in the beginning of 2020, people were trying to, or kids were like, well, that whole stand a broom up, watch it stand up by itself.
Oh yeah.
I won't play with brooms no more.
Forgot about that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
there will be no more standing up of brooms.
Yeah, we ain't about to play with the brooms, but also I also believe that God doesn't just speak from a place of discipline, or a
He
place
sees some
of,
love too.
but it's a place of for you to open your eyes. You know what I mean? A place of passion, a
Yep.
place of, really we are as dust.
Yep.
When we found out that his little girl passed, along with him, it let us know that we really are dust.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not even that, and I know this, I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this, but a lot of people I'm sure was mad at God for that. You know what I mean? For the little girl. I'm sure the mother has went through all types of thoughts and feelings and emotions, but yeah, we just got to keep our faith. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I enjoy spending my Monday evening with you. So at least I got my comedy on,
Me too.
I got my learning on. So
Hmm.
just really getting to know somebody. And it just goes to show, again, like I said, when you talk to people, they're more than
Hmm.
Facebook posts. They are
Yeah.
just that profile picture. Behind that is a
Hmm.
faith, a woman
Yeah.
of strength, a woman
Hmm.
who's going from brokenness to healing.
Yeah.
And still evolving. And I can't
Hmm.
wait who the Mister is, because he's got to come with himself together. Not perfect, but
Ah,
understand that he needs to be together, because you put in the
yeah.
work and he needs to do that too. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
you're absolutely welcome. So I'm gonna stop recording. How you do that?